Imagine this thing. You wake up tomorrow and a new war has started. Within hours, one thing will always happen. The gold price will shoot up. But why? Why does everyone suddenly want gold, especially during war? And today, we'll cover this fascinating relationship between war and gold and why every major conflict starting from World War II and the Ukraine-Russian war and even US-Iran war has affected gold prices. And by end of the video, you'll understand why investors rush to buy gold during wars and how inflation plays a major role and why doesn't it always keep rising forever. Let's get started. We'll see this in 5 chapters. And chapter 1 is all about fear. When a war begins, uncertainty spreads everywhere. So people actually don't know whether stock markets will crash or even currencies will lose value or businesses will survive or even inflation will rise. So this uncertainty is the main thing that creates fear, and fear changes the way how people invest. Instead of keeping money in risky assets like stocks, investors actually move to safe haven assets, and that is gold. Gold isn't tied to any single country's economy or government. And even if countries weaken or governments struggle, gold continues to hold value. And millions of investors around the world rush to buy gold at the same time. And then demand increases sharply while the supply barely changes. And whenever demand increases faster than supply, you all know what happens. The price naturally moves higher. In chapter 2, we'll talk about oil, inflation, and also central banks' involvement in this. So, war doesn't just create fear, they also disrupt the entire global economy. And major conflicts affect major trade routes or oil producing regions, causing oil prices to increase. And when oil becomes more expensive, transportation costs rise, factories pay more for energy, and the prices of everyday goods begin increasing. This is called inflation, where the same amount of money buys very few things than before. And to protect the wealth from inflation, investors usually go to gold because, again, that's a safe haven and it is historically maintained its value during the periods of such rising prices or inflation. And at the same time, central banks around the world will also increase their gold reserve during uncertain periods. So it's not just individuals who are buying gold, it's also banks who are actually investing in gold. And then the demand becomes even more stronger and therefore the prices always goes higher. And in chapter 3, we'll talk about some real examples from history. Especially during the 2008 global financial crisis, investors actually lost confidence in financial markets and gold prices surged as people searched for safety. And after Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, fears of economic disruption and rising energy prices pushed gold above 2000 per ounce. Similarly, when there is also tension between Israel and Iran in this US-Iran war or other major powers, gold often jumps because the markets worry that the conflict could spread even further. However, gold doesn't always continue rising forever. Once peace returns, economies recover and investor confidence improves, and then they will move their money not out of gold and they go back to stocks and other businesses. And as demand for gold slows down, the price also decreases. So, what is the biggest lesson from all this? Gold prices don't rise because war creates more value in gold itself. They rise because fear increases demand. Whenever people lose confidence in the future, they look for something they trust. For centuries, trusted asset is always gold. But it's important to remember that war is only one factor affecting gold prices. Inflation, interest rates, central bank decisions, investor expectations also play a major role in this. The next time you hear that the gold has reached a new record high, don't just ask what's happening in the gold market. Instead, ask what's happening in the world that is making people go towards safer assets. Because in the end, gold prices are not just economies, they are a reflection of human psychology. And if you have learned something from the video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Every single day, I will keep you guys updated on the most important things that are happening in the world.